She sighed, scrolling through her phone at the breakfast table while I finished pouring her coffee just the way she liked it. 2 sugars, a splash of oat milk. No more. No less that I'd woken up early that Saturday to make blueberry pancakes from scratch. The kind she used to rave about when we first moved in together. The kitchen still smelled like vanilla and warm batter, and soft jazz played from the speaker on the counter. I wanted today to feel easy, like the weekends we used to have before everything got so busy. I set the plate in front of her and sat down across the table with my own. She glanced up long enough to murmur thanks, then went right back to the screen. Her thumb moved in quick little flicks that I watched her for a moment, noticing how the morning light caught the loose strands of hair around her face. We'd been together 4 years now, living in this little loft downtown for 2. I still loved the way she looked when she wasn't trying. Hoodie half-zipped, legs tucked under her on the chair. "How did you sleep?" I asked, cutting into a pancake. "Fine," she said without looking up. Late night catching up on messages. She'd been doing that a lot lately. Staying up after I went to bed, phone glowing in the dark beside her. I'd asked once or twice if everything was okay, and she'd brushed it off with work stress or old college friends popping back into her life. I believed her. I always believed her. We ate in near silence, the jazz filling the gaps. When she finally set her phone down, she picked at the pancakes, eating only a few bites. "These are good," she said, but her tone was flat, like she was reading a line that I smiled anyway. "Glad you like them. I thought maybe we could go to the farmer's market later, pick out stuff for dinner. It's supposed to be nice out." She shrugged. "Maybe. I might have plans already." "Plans?" Kept my voice light. "With who?" "Just some people from that networking group I joined." She stood up, carrying her plate to the sink. "You know, the creative professionals thing." I nodded. She'd mentioned the group a few times, mostly designers, photographers, startup types. She was trying to branch out from her graphic design day job, build something freelance on the side. I supported it completely. I'd even helped her update her portfolio site last month, staying up until 2 in the morning tweaking code so her animations loaded faster. "Cool," I said. "Want company?" She turned on the faucet, rinsing her plate longer than necessary. "I think it's better if I go alone this time. It's more focused that way." Something in the way she said it made my stomach tighten, but I pushed it down. "Okay, no problem. I'll find something to do." She dried her hands and came over, pressing a quick kiss to the top of my head. "You're sweet," she said, and then she was gone. Heading to the bedroom to get ready, I sat there finishing my coffee, staring at the half-eaten pancakes on her plate. Later that afternoon, I was on the couch sketching ideas for a new app interface, my own side project, when her phone buzzed on the coffee table. She'd left it behind in her rush out the door. The screen lit up with a preview. "Elliot, can't wait to see you tonight. That rooftop bar is perfect for what I have in mind." Winking face. My heart did a slow, sick flip. I stared at the message until the screen went dark again. I didn't touch the phone. I didn't need to. The name Elliot wasn't one I'd ever heard her mention. I sat very still, the pencil still in my hand. The loft felt suddenly too quiet. I thought about all the late nights, the way she'd started dressing up more on weekdays, the new perfume I didn't recognize. Pieces I'd ignored or explained away clicked together with a sound I could almost hear. When she got home that evening, laughing softly to herself as she kicked off her shoes, I was in the kitchen making tea. She came up behind me, wrapping her arms around my waist. "Hey you," she said into my shoulder. "Miss me?" "Always," I said, keeping my voice steady. I turned around, handed her a mug. "How was the networking thing?" She took the tea, blew on it. "Really good, actually. Met some interesting people. Lots of energy. Anyone I should know about?" I asked casual. She hesitated for half a second, just long enough. "Not really. Just the usual crowd." I nodded, sipped my own tea. We talked about nothing for a while, her walk home, the new mural on 14th Street, whether we needed more oat milk. Inside, everything felt distant, like I was watching us from across the room. That night in bed, She fell asleep quickly, breathing soft and even beside me. I lay awake staring at the ceiling, replaying the message in my head. I didn't confront her. I didn't check her phone. I just let the knowledge settle cold and heavy. The next few weeks passed in a strange, careful dance. She kept going out more, networking drinks, collaborative meetups, quick coffee with a potential client. I'd nod, smile, ask gentle questions she deflected with ease. I cooked dinners she sometimes ate, sometimes skipped. I fixed the leaky faucet she'd been complaining about for months. I kept the loft clean, kept the fridge stocked, kept being the steady one. I started preparing quietly. I opened a new savings account in my name only. I updated my resume, reached out to a couple old colleagues about freelance opportunities. I booked a short solo trip to the coast for the following month, something I'd always wanted to do but had put off for when we had time together. I didn't tell her about any of it. One Thursday evening, she came home later than usual, cheeks flushed from wine or cold air. I couldn't tell which. I was at the dining table with my laptop, working on a new portfolio piece. She dropped her bag, kicked off her heels, and poured herself water. "God, what a night," she said, laughing a little. "Those people are intense." I closed my laptop. "Sounds fun." It was. She leaned against the counter, studying me. "You okay? You've been quiet lately." I met her eyes. "I'm fine." She tilted her head. "You sure? You seem distant." This was it, the opening. I could have asked about Elliot, about the messages, about where she really went. Instead, I took a slow breath. "I've been thinking," I said. "About this." I gestured vaguely between us. "I love you. You know that." Her expression softened. "I love you too. But I don't think we're heading the same direction anymore." She froze, glass halfway to her lips. "What are you talking about?" "I see how excited you get about these new people, these new possibilities. And I realize I'm not part of that excitement. That's not." She started, but I raised a hand gently. "It's okay," I said. My voice was calm, almost conversational. "I want you to have what makes you happy, and I want the same for myself." She set the glass down hard. "Are you breaking up with me?" "No," I said. "I'm recognizing that we've already grown apart. I'm just saying it out loud." Her face shifted, confusion, then defensiveness. "This is coming out of nowhere. I've been trying to build something bigger, yes, but that doesn't mean I don't want us." I nodded. "I know you believe that, but I also know I'm not the adventure you're looking for right now, and that's all right." She laughed then, short and disbelieving. "You're being ridiculous. We're good. We're comfortable. We have a life here." "Comfortable," I repeated quietly. The word hung between us. She crossed her arms. "What's wrong with comfortable? Not everyone needs constant fireworks." "Nothing's wrong with it," I said. "But I don't want to be someone's safe choice while they're out chasing fireworks." Her mouth opened, closed. For the first time, she looked unsettled that I stood up, closed my laptop fully. "I'm going to stay at my brother's place for a few days. Clear my head." "You're leaving?" Just like that. I picked up the small duffel I'd packed earlier and left by the door. Just clothes, toiletries, my laptop. Nothing dramatic. "Not leaving," I said. "Taking space. I'll be back for the rest of my things next week when you're at work." She followed me to the door. "We can talk about this. We can fix." I turned, looked at her one last time. She was beautiful, standing there in the hallway light, eyes wide and suddenly unsure. "We already did talk," I said gently. "You just weren't listening." I stepped out, pulled the door closed softly behind me. No slam, no yelling, just the quiet click of the lock engaging. My brother lived 40 minutes away in a quiet suburb. He opened the door, took one look at my face, and stepped aside without questions. That night I slept in his guest room, the walls pale blue, the silence deep and clean. The next morning I woke early, made coffee, and started making calls. Real estate agents, storage units, freelance clients. I felt strangely light, like I'd been carrying something heavy for months and only just noticed. She texted that afternoon. Please come home. We need to talk. Then, this is insane. You're overreacting. Then, I miss you. I read each one, felt the familiar tug, and let it pass. I didn't reply. Over the next week, I found a small one-bedroom in a different neighborhood. High ceilings, big windows, walking distance to the train. I signed the lease. I moved my things in stages, always when I knew she'd be out. The loft looked smaller each time I returned, like it belonged to a previous version of my life. I kept working, kept running along the river path near my new place, kept building the freelance business I'd always meant to grow. The days felt full in a new way, mine to shape. 2 weeks after I'd left, my phone rang from an unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but I did. Hello? It's me. Her voice was smaller than I remembered. I got a new phone. You blocked the old one. I stayed silent. I need to understand. You walked away like it was nothing. It wasn't nothing, I said. It was everything. She was quiet for a long moment. I thought you'd fight for us. I did, I said, for a long time. Then I realized I was the only one fighting. Another silence. Things aren't going well, she admitted finally. The freelance stuff, it's harder than I thought. Clients are flaking. I'm behind on rent. I listened. I miss how easy it was with you here, she said. How you handled everything. I closed my eyes for a second. I miss parts of it too, I said, but not enough to go back. She started to cry then, soft, frustrated sounds. I didn't mean to hurt you. I just wanted more. I thought we could have both. I know, I said, and now you get to find out what more feels like without the safety net. I ended the call gently, blocked the new number. A month later, I was at my new favorite coffee shop, laptop open, finishing a big project for a client who just doubled my rate. The place had exposed brick, good light, baristas who remembered my order. Someone hesitated beside my table. I looked up. She stood there, thinner, hair shorter, eyes tired. She held a to-go cup like a shield. Hi, she said. Hi. Can I? She gestured to the empty chair. I nodded once. She sat, wrapped both hands around her cup. You look good, she said. Relaxed. Thanks. You? She gave a small, wry smile. Not great. Lost the loft. Staying with a friend for now. The whole freelance dream kind of imploded. I nodded, waited. I get it now, she said quietly. What you meant about being comfortable. I thought it was an insult, but I leaned on it. On you. And when you left, I realized how much I wasn't carrying my own weight. I sipped my coffee. I was scared, she went on, of settling, of missing out. So I kept one foot out the door. And then you closed it. I met her eyes. You taught me something important, I said, that I deserve someone whose foot is all the way in. Someone who chooses me not because I'm safe, but because I'm who they want. Her lips trembled. Do you think, someday? I shook my head, not unkindly. No, but I hope you find what you're looking for. Really? She looked down at her cup, nodded. I hope so too. I stood, packed my laptop, slung my bag over my shoulder. Take care, I said. She watched me go, and this time she didn't call after me. Outside, the afternoon was bright and cool. I walked toward the river, hands in my pockets, breathing easy. The path ahead was wide open, and for the first time in years, it felt entirely mine.